We'll do the first story on it today, and we'll do the crash out tomorrow. We will. So here we go. Let's take a look at iDubbbz's supposed content cop. Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's do this.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be discussing the H3 content cop that was uploaded by iDubbbz yesterday. And spoiler alert, it's going absolutely terrible for iDubbbz. Now, in case you're not familiar with this once greatly respected content creator, over the past couple of years, he's been on a sort of journey that includes a lot of self-flagellation as well as trolls remorse, where he has openly condemned his old self, his old humor, and his old content, including his very famous Content Cop series. Now, in case you're not familiar with that series, he went after some of the seemingly untouchable content creators and made videos that actually put dents in some of their careers. These were brilliant series filled with great criticism and also a lot of entertainment value. Original songs, parodies, skits, all of that kept you paying attention while also receiving some very damning stuff about these content creators featured in these videos. However, like I said, over the past couple of years, he's been on a self-help journey where he's essentially called his old self bad and said he wants to be a nice guy and care about people's feelings. And doing so, he deleted the entire Content Cop series and is now trying to be a better person. In fact, even his latest target of his final Content Cop series, Leafy, is someone he apologized to essentially, despite the fact people like this not wanting any sort of an apology from him. And even in the final swan song of his social media life before he's been banned off of everything, Leafy was mocking him right to the end. But with Creator Clash 3 coming up, a major project for iDubbbz, it seems he wants to generate some attention for this event, which kind of makes sense if you think about it, because Creator Clash 2 was a disaster, at least financially, where they had to fork in their own money just to meet the charitable goals of Creator Clash 2. And I guess to accomplish that attention, he has revitalized, dug up the grave of the Content Cop series that he said he would never do again. Well,
yeah, they always say I'll never do it again until they realize what they're making is shit, and they need to try and go back to what was actually making them money, getting them clicks, getting them views, getting them ad dollars. We've seen this from plenty of people. Thank you, Rep. Yeah, we see this from a lot of content creators where they get big for doing something for a particular theme, let's say. They make it big for getting a particular theme. And then they move away from that theme, at least in a short manner, and they fall off. And so, they fall off shortly, they try to make a go of it with their new type of content, and they realize, well, this ain't working, I better go back to what was making me money, so I can actually continue to just work as a content creator, and I don't have to go get a real job. That's what they do. Clearly, that's what iDubbbz is doing. He's probably losing money. He lost money from that other thing. So he's basically trying to do some kind of a comeback. Clearly.
Well, he was a hypocrite on that, and he decided to post this the other day, and people immediately started speculating, who's it going to be about? Who's going to be the new target of this Content Cop? There's two names in particular I heard, Asmongold and Sam Hyde. And Sam Hyde, in case you didn't know, pretty much broke iDubbbz a few years ago. I don't think he's ever recovered since then. And also this Content Cop was supposed to release on Sam Hyde's birthday. So it seems like he might have taken a very courageous stab at a guy who's very hard to go after. Well, that's not what he did. Instead, as you know, it's on H3, aka Ethan Klein. Now, this was an obvious choice, and as the saying goes, sometimes the obvious choice is the correct one, and that was the case here. Now, I want to make two things very clear before we start talking about this. Number one, I am not a fan of H3. I used to enjoy his content back in the day, just like I did with iDubbbz, as well, but they've both changed in many different ways, and I really have no stake in this fight. I also want to make it clear this is a
Same.
pretty significant betrayal. These were two guys who clearly were pretty close friends at one time. They made content together. They seemed to get along very well. And obviously, over the past couple of years, things have not gone as well. And now you have this whole series coming out. And if you told people back in 2015 or 2016 that iDubbbz would be releasing a content cop on H3, they would have told you you were crazy. Now, of course, a lot of people are speculating as to why this happened. Some people are looking at the content nuke uploaded by H3 Productions here that targeted Hassan Piker. Nearly 2 hours of eviscerating this man and just pointing out to the person who may not know all of the crazy things he's done over the years. And
I'm pretty sure that this is what caused H3 to get temporarily banned from Twitch. Showing Hassan Piker content. Like, H3 actually, just did a stream on Twitch. For those of you that, YouTube, he was fine, David. He was fine on YouTube, but he got banned off Twitch for, 24 hours or something. Like, he did a stream where he showed something like 2 hours of Hassan's content. Basically kind of like React content, like what I'm doing, but he showed Hassan's content, and he got banned from Twitch for violating TOS because of what Hassan's content said. And of course, that brought up the whole thing of you're gonna ban H3 saying that the content he showed was violating TOS, but Hassan is fine. And that was the whole thing. And I mean, great, H3 got unbanned in 24 hours, but it basically just showed the absolute hypocrisy of Twitch. How Twitch has, Hassan is Twitch's beloved, prodigal son, but when someone else shows Hassan's content, they ban him because Hassan's content is clearly hate speech and clearly violates TOS. But they don't actually ban Hassan himself. So it was that was a whole double standard, showcasing hypocrisy thing. And I'm guessing that's what this is all about.
People believe as a result of that, that's how we ended up with this disaster. This is the content cop made on H3 by iDubbbz that was uploaded yesterday.
As
you can see, the results are abysmal. A nearly 50-50 like-dislike ratio, nearly 200,000 dislikes on this content cop. Again, if you heard that there would be so many dislikes on a content cop like this back in 2016, you would have never believed it. But looking at this image, are you really shocked? He basically brought in all the most dislikable content creators on the platform, including making his star witness of this entire thing, Hassan Piker. And much like the Trash Taste podcast episode where he was featured there, people are using this video not just to criticize iDubbbz's lame attempt here, but also as a lightning rod to show how much they dislike people like Hassan Piker who were in this video. And that like-dislike ratio in the comments are as brutal as they are, despite the best efforts of Hassan to boost it. He had this preloaded as it was going live while he was streaming himself to try to brigade the comment sections and the likes as well to try to boost this, but it wasn't enough. It's still getting absolutely blasted. Now, of course, there's another thing to point out here before we look at the video itself. Look who helped create this video.
For flop's sake.
Look at the names listed here. It is a rogues gallery of
I recognize 3 of our favorite people that are absolute shitbags. Boom, boom, boom. 3 absolute pieces of shit that have been in gross violation of TOS, that have affected hate speech, that have promoted terrorism, and they helped iDubbbz put this together. Yeah, I think we can see where this is going. Uh-huh. Basically, Denims and Frogan are basically Hassan's acolytes. Frogan was actually one of Hassan's mods before breaking out on her own and getting her own channel. Excuse me. However, Frogan and Denims both got banned from Twitch for like 15 or 30 days for being absolutely fucking racist at a stage event at fucking TwitchCon. They did like an event at TwitchCon, the two of them plus like 3 or 4 others, where they were blatantly being racist against Jewish people, and they caught, I think it might have actually been a 30-day ban for it. And then they came back and were just as much scumbags as they were before. Frogan is flat out outright promoted terrorism, just like Hassan has. She actually had a sub goal, I think, that if the sub goal was met, she was actually going to bake a cake celebrating 9/11. That was an actual sub goal. Thank fucking God that it didn't get reached, but if she reached that sub goal, she was literally going to bake a cake designed to celebrate the events of 9/11. Oh yeah, she is an absolute terrorist sympathizer and promoter. She loves to bash on America when the fucking country that I think her family is from, if she said the same things in the country that her family is from, she would already be fucking dead. So she loves just pissing all over the country that allows her the freedom of speech to actually say this absolutely insane shit and promote terrorism. Denims is another one that loves to basically, not so subtly, put hits out on other content creators saying, "Yeah, I'll pay $30,000 if you can make this guy make this person go away." They're absolute pieces of trash. They're human filth, and they showcase the worst that humanity has to offer. Like, they're some of the worst, and they're promoting even worse than their own.
Ethan's biggest haters over the years, people who make near daily
Oh yeah,
content
and
about.
by the way, Denims was the one when H3 had Child Protective Services falsely called them then, and CPS came in and did an investigation. Denims, and I reacted to this video, and I went fucking off on this one. Denims was calling H3's wife, who was IDF because she is she is Israeli, and as any person with even a modicum of intelligence knows, every Israeli citizen has to do service in the IDF. Does not necessarily mean that she was a combatant. I believe someone mentioned that she was like a clerk in the IDF when she did her service. Denims flat out fucking accused Ethan's wife of literally unaliving infants. She flat out accused, and she kept calling Ethan's wife an infant unaliver. Over and over again. I am not fucking kidding, Dreamer. Like, I reacted to the video where she did this, and I went fucking off. I forget what it was I called her. I started calling her I called her the anti-Semite. Because because Ethan's wife, and my apologies, I cannot remember Ethan's wife's name. But when his wife was talking about, and she was like visibly upset about CPS coming in and traumatizing their kids, Denims was saying like, oh, the what I like basically the child unaliver. She kept referring to that over and over. Oh, the child unaliver is sad. The child unaliver wants to speak. And I fucking went off and I said, oh, everybody shut up. The anti-Semite wants to fucking talk out of her fucking gob again. She is a fucking Denims is an anti-Semite cunt. And she always will be. And I pray to fucking God that she doesn't have kids because I would fear for those fucking kids.
About him, his wife, even his own kid. I have a wife who's in content creation.
Oh, shit! Sorry! Something fell on my keyboard and I jumped.
Look who helped create this video. Look at the names
Yeah, exactly
right.
That's why I went off on her. That's why I went the fuck off.
Ethan's biggest haters over the years. People who make near daily content about him, his wife, even his own kids. Okay, these people are his biggest haters, and they are contributing to a video that's supposed to be, as iDubbbz describes himself, as a fair and impartial one. Does that look like a fair and impartial group of people? Yeah, he would even describe them himself as Ethan's biggest haters. It's just such a joke. You look around at this list of people, right? You have people who have justified.
iDubbbz was just unfair. iDubbbz was doing an Alyssa Mercante here by saying, if anybody's got dirt, call me so I can write a hit piece. That's what iDubbbz did. He basically contacted every single content creator that has dirt or perceived dirt to create this content cop. By the way, side note, I saw off topic mentioning Alyssa Mercante. She can't get work as a writer anymore. She's actually got to work like retail or something now because she's been posting on her Twitter that she's got to go. She's working retail now because she can't get a job. I just thought that was a funny little side note. Yeah, wait. That's right. Yeah, she's a waiter. She's working as a waitress because no one will hire her as a journalist anymore. Anyway, little side note.
Political violence, if it has some sort of goal in mind. They've advocated for political violence. They've wished harm on soldiers. They've said America deserved 9/11. They've platformed terrorists, made race-based tier lists, put bounties on other content creators' heads for disagreeing with them, and even justified calling CPS on their opponents because the kids would be too young to remember it. These are unhinged individuals, and again, being used as the fair and impartial sources for this video. And the irony of all of this is not lost on me. Number one, every single person on this list would have been a potential content cop target 10 years ago. Every single one of them.
Forget 10 fucking years ago. They're a content cop target now. Every fucking... No, you know what? Never mind. I retract that. There's no need to content cop them because all of their shit is out in the fucking open. Content cop, as I understand it, is actually digging in to people that are not perceived as good people and digging into their past or whatever and finding stuff like, okay, that makes them look bad. All of these people, like, well, at least 3 of these people, their bad shit is out in the fucking open. So there's nothing to dig up. Honestly.
Infinite amount of reasons. And also, in the content nuke on Hassan Piker refused to react to it because he believed that Destiny ghost wrote the entire thing, which he obviously has no evidence for.
What?
But then he joins in on this content cop where he's one of 7 people contributing to this video. Very ironic. But for the video itself, it's a bunch of slop. Basically, they took these 7 people and just aired out all of the things they've already said about Ethan into this video. And just had basically iDubbbz as the mouthpiece for everything they've already said. There is nothing new introduced into this video. In fact, this entire video is the greatest departure.
So this is basically a video form of Twitter or Blue Sky. That's what this is. This is just an hour-long video of Twitter posts and Blue Sky posts being vocalized. That's it. Yep.
From a content cop, you can imagine there's no original songs, there's no parodies, there's not even really skits. It's just a long expose video parroting points that were already made by the people who contributed to this video. In fact, the closest thing we get to a skit is this garbage right here. Brace yourselves, it's peak cringe.
Okay.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up.
Ethan, wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
Ethan, wake up.
Wake up.
The fuck?
Just wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content yet, chat.
I'm listening. Nobody's telling you to wake up, Ethan.
Yummy, I love
What the fuck is this?
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
Okay. So, this is not only creepy, other than the fact that iDubbbz is literally giving the microphone a blowjob. That in and of itself is questionable. Actually, hang on. I need to get off of that because I just realized that some of that is NSFW. Which begs the question, how the fuck did iDubbbz not get dinged for that? Yeah, this... Fuck! Okay, anyway. I cannot go back to show iDubbbz because unlike iDubbbz, like I actually give a shit about not showing that kind of crap on my channel if I can avoid it. Tell me iDubbbz does not look like something out of fucking American History X right now. Okay, again, I'm not gonna go back and show it again because of his tattoos. Tell me you see that. Number one, he's giving the microphone a blowjob. Wonder if there's anything behind that. But yeah, he looks like fucking Edward Norton out of American History X. He absolutely looks like he is a fucking Nazi skinhead. He's not helping his cause by looking like that. And especially looking like that, talking like he is, with the facial expression that he has, where he's like literally trying to look evil.
Yeah, let me introduce you to this nightmare blunt rotation of human beings right here.
What?
This is not AI generated. This was supposed to be some sort of an own on Ethan. This is the most...
And by the way, I'm gonna... Well, yes, Kevin, exactly. The bird tattoo right side on the chest, exactly. Can I point out, as I understand it with the content cop, this was iDubbbz basically working on his own, doing some digging, kind of sort of being like something of a journalist, like an actual journalist that like digging into somebody's history, finding this dirt and bringing it to light. So as I understand it, iDubbbz was actually being somewhat journalistic. He's flat out proved with this that this is 100% a hit piece, that he's not actually trying to do a content cop, that he is literally just basically sucking Hassan Piker's dick. That's what he's doing. He's literally doing this to suck off Hassan Piker in the hopes that it'll get him views again. That's what this is. It is literally nothing more than that. Yeah. Everyone behind him is desperately trying to suck Hassan's dick. Because they're trying to gain clout to try and elevate their online status. Because they think that'll work. And iDubbbz is now joining this crowd. Like, these three have already been doing it. I don't even know who the fuck this is, but I can already tell he is. iDubbbz is doing the same thing now. He's basically fallen in line and hoping that by sucking off Hassan, it's going to basically get, Hassan will basically blast some follower cream into his mouth and he'll get some extra followers because of it. That's it. And hello, Matt does stuff. Welcome. Welcome to the rage. Yeah, so, it's pretty this is not a content cop. It is not. This is literally a hit piece. So we already know. It's 100% a hit piece. There's no content cop involved in here. iDubbbz, congratulations. You fucking played yourself.
Pathetic lineup I've ever seen in my life, and on no planet did I ever expect these individuals to be featured in a content cop when they're not the targets. That's how much we've lost the plot. I mean, look at some of this cringe. This was posted by Denims. This was a long time coming. The fact that this man has been whipped so hard in submission that he's working with these people is just insanity. He has truly been mind broken over the years. And this is coming from someone who's given him a lot of benefit of the doubt, even in his shift away from his so-called former self. This is the absolute bottom of the barrel. I cannot believe what I'm looking at here. It is pathetic to be lining up in a room with people who have said some of the most extreme things you can ever say on your traditional social media platforms, and somehow thinks he...
Well, Gray Matter, I was going to say, Sam Hyde is probably the cause of this. Like, I don't know exactly how Sam Hyde mind-fucked iDubbbz. Rev said that Sam Hyde basically caused iDubbbz to lose his fucking mind when he tried to content cop him or something. Sam Hyde basically caused this because Sam Hyde broke him so badly that he's now basically crawled into Hassan's lap. That's what it looks like.
He's on the right side of history, just being a mouthpiece for all of their grievances against H3. It's absolutely insane, and this is kind of a theme for the video for me. If you want someone else to sit down and hold your hand and go through this entire thing point for point, there's other people who do that. That's not what I'm doing here because this is just old news. There's nothing new introduced here, but I just want to show a few clips like I already have that really show how detached from reality iDubbbz is and how embarrassing this content cop is. And I'm going to start by talking about the relationship between H3 and Hassan Piker. They did a podcast together many years ago. And iDubbbz is essentially saying, you don't have any right to criticize anything that Hassan Piker has ever done because you did a podcast with him. And one of the points that comes up is the comments made by Hassan where he said America deserved 9/11. And unfortunately, iDubbbz has a very strong opinion about that. He's actually got excuses and thinks it's kind of brave.
Ethan talks about being aware of Hassan's 9/11 comments and then sort of leaves it at that. Like it was just a joke. Actually, I think Ethan describes them as edgy moments or jokes.
You might remember him from such classics as
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it, I'm saying it.
Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
No, Ethan, those aren't jokes, right? When someone makes a controversial statement like that, that's not them trying to be funny. I can understand why you would conflate the two. That is someone who is extremely frustrated and passionate about a particular topic. In this case,
Frustrated and passionate about a topic. This motherfucker is literally defending Hassan raising 9/11. That is what he just did. Oh, leader? He did. This was not edgy. This was not a joke. Hassan actually meant it. Hassan fucking hates America. He probably celebrated when 9/11 happened. I mean, Hassan is a terrorist sympathizer. He's promoted terrorism on his channel multiple times. And yeah, he did. Yeah, that's correct. He just did. He did promote. He did just confirm it was intentional.
American imperialism and terrorism. You could have looked
No,
at
no, 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 no.
topic. In this case, American imperialism and terrorism. You could have looked into that. You could have talked to Hassan a little bit more and found out what his international politics opinions are. But you wouldn't even need to do that. You can look at it online.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, Shadow's point of fact, Hassan is not living in the US. Hassan is currently in Japan. Hassan has fled the United States. Probably because he's now on an FBI watch list. So yeah, Hassan ran away like the little bitch that he is, and is currently hiding in Japan. Little does he know, the FBI can still get him in Japan. Okay? Japan would be more than happy to work with the FBI to have the FBI come in and snatch up his ass. All it takes is for the FBI to talk to the Japanese government and say, hey, we kind of want to arrest this guy. Got a problem with that? And Japan will absolutely say, come on in, we'll help.
Hopefully that didn't give you whiplash. That is one of the most insane things I have heard in a minute. Ethan Klein, in his description of Hassan Piker's 9/11 comments, was being extremely charitable, in my opinion, as labeling those comments as edgy jokes.
Yeah.
But iDubbbz comes in and says, no, those are not edgy jokes, and you're bad for saying that. That was actually Hassan Piker being extremely passionate about the subject and almost saying you need to respect his opinion. This is insane. Again, in the year 2025, iDubbbz defending and really propping up someone saying America deserved 9/11. Is this not the hardest fall off you have ever seen in your life? Oh, wait, it gets worse. So after an hour of lambasting this guy, completely betraying him, stabbing him in the back, allying with his most insane haters, iDubbbz tries to do the classic bully mentality, where he says,
yeah, I talked about that, Alistair.
After beating you up for the last hour, I'm going to give you a pat on the back and said, you're actually kind of a good guy, sort of, kind of, but not really. He decides to line up, as he describes, the biggest haters that he included in this video to give their fair opinion of Ethan Klein, say something nice about him.
Oh,
like
God.
I said, in the video, he describes this group of people as part of a fair content cop that's hearing both sides. And here he says, say something.
Okay, this is sounding more and more like this crew actually contacted iDubbbz and set this up. Like, I'm not sure which one of you guys said that, you know, Hassan actually probably paid iDubbbz to do this. It's starting to sound like it more and more. This was 100% coordinated. Either iDubbbz initiated and reached out to Hassan and said, listen, I want to do a hit piece on H3. Do you want to help? Which, of course, Hassan would be like, hell yeah. Absolutely fucking hell yeah, I will. Or, you know, Hassan reached out to iDubbbz and said, listen, you've been slumping. You want to do your content cop thing again? We'll all jump on board and help you out. And of course, it's Hassan, so he probably said, yeah, sure, I'll suck your dick for some views. It's got to be one or the other at this point.
Nice about Ethan. And it gets so embarrassing. Please watch until the end of this clip.
I have challenged some of his most powerful haters to put down the haterade and just say something nice and charitable about him because I think he deserves it.
I just wanted to say that I respect that you are genuinely yourself on the internet. I think a lot of other people respect you for it as well. I think that's a big reason why people were drawn to your content in the first place. I think that.
Hey, everybody. Okay, hang on. Everybody, please be quiet. The anti-Semite wants to pretend like she's nice. Okay, so everybody please be quiet. The anti-Semite is trying to pretend to be a human being. Let's listen.
I think that's a big reason why people were drawn to your content in the first place. I think that's a lot of the reason why your employees chose to work with you over anyone else.
Ethan, I think it's
Okay, so the anti-Semite is praising H3 for being himself. She's pretending to be nice, chat. And yes, I'm still gonna call her a fucking anti-Semite. Based on the last thing that we saw her. I've not seen anything to indicate that she has changed. Yeah, this is the same fucking thing as the debates where you have the moderator ask the politicians that are doing the debating, like, can you say something nice about your opponent? And they come up with some bullshit, like some fake bullshit that they're like, I'm gonna say this because it's gonna make me look good, but I don't believe a fucking word of it, but I wanna make myself look good in front of the audience. So I'm gonna pretend like I'm gonna pretend like I'm gonna be saying something nice. That's exactly what this is. I don't believe a fucking word any one of these people are saying right now. Not fucking one.
It's respectable that you even began this journey to leave behind the anti-SJW crowd and step into a more empathetic worldview. I know it's not easy.
Ethan Klein, I think that when you are being goofy, when you're being silly, when you are being lighthearted, and just having fun with your friends, I think that is when you're at your best. So I'd love to see more of that. That'd be sick.
I will be reading my letter off because I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports for good that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back.
Wait. Finmer. Did she literally just say, I'm going to be reading off my letter because I don't want to sound robotic? So instead of just speaking from the heart, which we know she cannot do, she's going to read a pre-prepared statement under the auspice of she doesn't want to sound like a robot. No, bitch. You're reading a pre-prepared statement because you know that if you were to go off the cuff, you wouldn't be able to keep up the charade. Okay?
I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports for good that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember. You were one of the inspirations for me to start creating content, so all this has stunk. I hope you really hear this, and I wish you the best.
I think Ethan Klein rocks a buzz cut pretty good. And I think...
Oh, for fuck's sake!
He's got a good choice of facial hair. I think it's really cool what he did 8 years ago, fighting that frivolous lawsuit. That was pretty fucked up. And fighting...
This is so fucking surface level, it's not even funny. This is so surface level. He's got a nice... Okay, say something nice about Ethan. He's got a nice haircut. You rocks, good facial hair. You defended yourself against a frivolous lawsuit. Thumbs up. This is the nice stuff that this person can think of. Oh my god, you are fake as fuck, dude.
That was cool because I thought it was like he was fighting for free speech.
I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neil. I'm like, fuck, like, it's really hard to be a couple online and see people attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like if you come to their defense, that doesn't always help them.
Dude, why are you fucking crying right now? You're literally promoting the very people that went after his fucking wife. Okay? Every single person that you were dancing with were the ones going after Ethan's wife. And you're gonna sit here crying and saying, oh, I know how it's gotta be so hard because they're like, motherfucker, shut the fuck up, you goddamn hypocrite. You are so full of shit, it defies description. This is bullshit. He must have, like, plucked a nose hair or something to get these tears coming. Because I don't fucking buy this for a fucking second. You literally are promoting the very people that went after Ethan's wife. And now you're gonna pretend like you're crying about it, like, oh, this is so sad. Motherfucker, no. You're now one of that group. Either shit or get off the pot, motherfucker.
The CIA couldn't torture me enough to make me voluntarily post that clip not once, but twice of iDubbbz crying in a therapy session. Look, dude, I get it. Anissa gets a lot of hate. Some of it deservedly so because she said some outlandish things over the years. But I also understand that he has probably seen her get a lot of criticism that is just a bunch of people trying to lash out at him and using her as some sort of conduit, okay? I have a wife who's in content creation. People do the same thing to me. They go after her. They try to spite me. And that's how it works. It sucks. It's not fun to see. And you know what? If you have to go to therapy for it, if it makes people like iDubbbz feel better, that's awesome, dude. Go do that. But to post that online, not just once, but twice, to sit in front of a camera, bawl your eyes out over that stuff, to play the ultimate victim, not just once, but twice, is shameless, especially in this context where you...
Well, and again, I'm going to point out, in case Rev doesn't, he's bawling his eyes out about Ethan's wife getting attacked. But yet he's dancing, grinning, and acting like an evil Nazi with the very people that did it. Okay? None of this works. None of it. I don't believe a fucking thing that iDubbbz just said while he was, like, blubbering. I'm sorry, I think it's all performative. I cannot believe it, given the context of what he does in the content cop. Not at all. I 100% think it's performative. I think he's completely faking. And I'll even go so far as to say he may not even follow suit with Hassan and Hassan's crew. He may actually not even believe what they believe. I think iDubbbz is just being a content whore right now. I honestly think that because Hassan and Frogan and Denims and the rest are volatile and they garner a lot of views.
Hey, who left this bowl of onions here?
I honestly think that he's just chopping on Hassan's dick to get them in his videos because having all of them in his content cop will garner views. Which, look at how many views he got. 3 million views in 22 hours. That, I think, is the reason why. He's basically doing, he is doing it for the clicks. He's being a money whore. And so I don't frickin' believe a fucking word he says.
He's trying to weaponize it against Ethan. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's beyond pathetic. At the end of this hour and 6 minute long dragging of H3 by a former friend.
Oh, it's over 5 million. There you go.
iDubbbz.
There you go.
Is the victim who's crying. That's all you need to know about this absolute disaster that was this content cop, if you can even call it that. And give props where props are deserved. Ethan reacted to this live. He was already live streaming when this dropped, which the timing of that drop was not a coincidence, by the way. I'm sure they did that on purpose while he was live to try to shake him. But instead of running off like Hassan Piker and refusing to watch his own content for months and months and months, he immediately reacted to it because I guess he's prepared to deal with the things that are being said about him because he's heard it all before. There was nothing new introduced to this content cop, and overall, just a humiliating experience. Something that is one of the more brutal downfalls I've ever watched on YouTube. If I'm being honest with you, it's a sad watch at this point. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Oh god, I'm getting recommended my own videos now. Yeah. Okay. I cannot wait to see the fallout for this tomorrow. We're not gonna watch it now. We're not. We're not gonna watch it now. We will watch the fallout of it tomorrow. I am excited though.